Hi guys, welcome to my TED video tutorial on this project. Um, I actually recorded this video for this project. I was doing the tutorial, I was just talking, doing stuff, not knowing that it wasn't recording. So I didn't even bother to check. I was just I don't know. So at the end of the day, I found out that the video wasn't recording at all. Actually, it was recording, so when I hit a certain button, it stopped recording. So I had to go back to my recording software and tweak some settings. Okay, without wasting too much time, let's get started. Okay. Obviously, you have to create a project. Sorry, a folder for this project. I have done mine. So let me show you. Open folder. So this is the folder that I'll be using. So you could name it anyone, you could give it any name you want. So for me, I will call this practice one. So I'll select it or click on it. Make sure nothing is selected in the inside the folder. Or to be on the safer side, just select the project and the folder and click on select. So that is it. So before then, let me quickly explain something. So this folder, when you click on it, you could see that I created a CSS folder. This will hold all the CSS files in it. So I did create a folder for JavaScript. I didn't create it. I don't want to create a folder for it. I just put everything in a root directory. But it is highly recommended that you do it, especially when you are working on a real life project. So it makes your work to be well organized, if you know what I mean. But for this, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to create a folder for JavaScript. I've just put everything in one folder. Okay, so in this CSS, there's actually a file in it, but because I'm trying to access a folder, the file is not showing. It is showing, but if I go to my computer system and to my normal folder and I search for it, it will be there. So there's a folder, a file, a CSS file in it, known as called normalized.css. Normalize.css. So what it basically, okay, I will explain that soon. I will explain that soon. So this is the normalized.css. So let's create an HTML document. So I click on this practice, click on this new file. Then I'll call it index.html. Sorry about that. Okay, so this index is in the root directory. The previous one I did, it was inside the CSS, so I had to drag it out. Okay, so that is it. So let's get started. So I don't want to start typing from scratch. I'll just hit on copy and paste. Okay, now this is the head session. So now this is the normalized.css. So what this what it practically do is this: it resets the CSS so that it remains the same across almost all browsers. So most browsers like Mozilla, Explorer, Chrome, whatever, they have their own styling. They call it a user agent style sheet or a user agent styling. You understand? So they apply their own styling to a web page so that to give it a better appearance. So when you try to apply your own styling to your own to your own web page when building a website, so when sometimes when you try to access them in different browsers, they look slightly different. Why is it like that? It's because of the user agent style sheet that is be applied to it. I'll show you what I mean as we go. I'll just give a little example. Okay, so where did I get this normalized.css from? I got it from this website. Let me show you. Yeah, so this is the website. So what I did was that I downloaded it and transferred the file to my CSS folder of the CSS of the project that we are working on right now. So you could download this code and include it on your CSS. So that is it. So I've already explained what it does. There are others as well, but this is the one. This is one of the one I use. The one of the most popular ones. Okay, all right. So that is it. Okay, I don't want to explain more. So this is the way. This will be this is what I will use for my font for my fonts. All right. So that is it. So for the header. I'm not supposed to paste this here. Okay, I've already pasted it. So this will be the header section of the web of the page of the single page project. So you could see there's a button in here, the demo, this check demo. If you could remember in our first video, the intro video, I hover around it and I told you that there will be that the button changes when you hover, when you take your mouse, your cursor on the button. So if you haven't watched that video, then you have to go back to the first video of this project and rewatch. Okay, so we created in the header we created a new div. Within the div we created a h1 that is the main heading for this, which is my first website project. Then the next we created a paragraph, and inside the paragraph you see there's a quote here. So this is where we will put our random quote. This is where we'll put our random quote. So the random quote that will be displaying the I think every 5 seconds or 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds. It will be displaying every time interval. So so this will be our first JavaScript project. Our first JavaScript production. The major project is the JavaScript. This HTML is just to give it a good look, but our major focus is this JavaScript, and this is one of them. So we will make this dynamic. We'll do that using a JavaScript. So we'll do that in our next 3 videos also there also. So that is it. So this is for the header. So without wasting much time, let's get started. Oh, okay. Now let's go. Let's create a div. Sorry, what am I typing? Okay, so this main div we hold all will be a container for all the forms. And don't forget that we are doing a single page project, so all the forms because it will consist of the forms we will put in this container will be three. The first one will be a registration form, the second will be the login, and the third will be a forget password. So we would put everything in this div. So if you notice in the project, when we visit the page, you notice that the only thing that shows is this header. The form wasn't displayed. So when you hit on the board, the demo, the forms in a one of the forms in here displayed. Now this none is a class. We will do that. We will write the CSS for this class. So we kind of make it dynamic in such a way that when you click on this demo, this class none changes to block. We will remove it so that it displays. Okay, so we'll just remove this class, then the forms displays. It's simple logic. So if you are familiar with HTML, CSS, you know what I'm talking about. All right, so that is it. So so just create another div. I, I was just checking if I'm being recorded, because I don't want what happened to before to repeat itself. Okay, I know some of you may be asking a question, what am I using for record? If you want to know, drop your comment below. I'll share that on a separate video. In short, I love this mic, obviously speaking. Okay, let's proceed. Let's not waste much time. Okay, okay, guys. The first the first form that will be creating is the registration. So the registration form will be inside this div. You could see reg div, that is registration div. So it contains the registration form. So I'm going to copy and and paste the registration form. I don't want. All right, yeah, I've pasted the registration form. So you can see in the form, after the form, you've got a h2 header, which is displays with a text, register for free now. Then after that, you got a label for email, and it's a input field type email. If you notice, the input for and the ID of the input associated with the label, they are all the same, so that when you click on the label, the input associated with it will be highlighted. Let me show you what I mean. Let me go. And okay, before then, if I want to view this, you could do it. uh, okay, you could use this. Could use this, but you could click on this. But me, I will just, because I want to see I want to view the result on my own browser, on my specified browser. Although there's a way I could tweak it to to show in any browser of my choice, but I just want to do it the simpler way for now. So I'll click on, I right clicked on that, then go to this copy part, then pasted it here now. Okay, so this is the check demo button. Now this is the registration form. So when you click on this, you see the input associated with this label highlights. This is a very good user experience, you see. So it gives you an additional feature to enable you to access the input feed, not just by clicking the input, but by clicking the labels associated with it. So the label for and the ID of the associated input feed must be identical. They must be the same. You understand? But if not, it won't work. Okay. Okay. So the input email, confirm email. I should have put in this, but it's okay. Password. You can see the ID and this, they are the same. And the input type is password. So that is when you type, you won't see, when you type, try to type on the password field, you won't see any. It will just be black circle circle circle. You won't actually see. Okay, in this field set, this is our second JavaScript implementation we'll be doing, a second JavaScript project. So in here you could see this is a link and it says click here to generate random password. So when you click on it, a random password will be generated in here. So we would write a JavaScript code to, to generate random password in here. We will do that. So when you click on it, a random one generates. When you click it, new ones generate. You keep generating. So it's very very good user experience. So when someone is trying to, it doesn't know how to, there are some people that, there are some individuals that have issues trying to, to write password. You understand? Now good thing is that when you write, once you type it, it is good for you to, to put it in a separate place. Although in some web pages they give this, they give you a link where you could reset your password just in case you forget it. So that is it. Then this is the confirm password. Then the third JavaScript implementation that we'll be doing is to, move from this registration form to a login form in such a way that when you click on this display, this will the display will be off. You understand? The display will be off. It will do it. I would There's a way we'll do it. No, let me not explain much. We'll implement that using JavaScript. So when you click on this, then the login form displays. Then this will be turned off. The registration will turn off, as you saw in the demo in our and in our first video. So let's proceed. Let's not waste time. So we've done with the registration form. So the next thing is to go to the login form. Let's do that right away. Okay, so this is the day for the login first. So I'll just copy and okay. The login code is created. As you can see, this is the login form. This is the code. Already registered. Please log in. Username. I don't know why username is here. Let me take this off. Should I take it off? It's because there's no the registration is email and password, but I'm using the login and password. No, so I'll change this username to email. I'll give it a double L because I don't want this sorry. So I'll give it email. So the ID and this, they are the same. So and they are unique. So I'm trying to make sure that I've not created it before, because I know that I've never created this ID before. So the ID must be unique. Unlike classes, different elements, different tasks could share one class. It could use this. It could use one class. It doesn't matter. But ID is unique to one element. Okay. So before I forget, let me change this from text to email. And this it is always good for you to put the type of element, the type of input, and very important for verification for verification purpose, as well as security wise. Okay, so that is it. So you see it. So we will be implementing two JavaScript okay, we'll be writing two JavaScript functions or code, or no, two JavaScript functions. The first one is, you say not register, please click here to register. So when you click on this, it will take you to this form. We toggle off, then this registration will show up. Then this next one, forget password, please click here to reset password. So when you click on this, the next the forget password, reset password form will display. So we want to write that right now. We want to do that right now. Let me test. Don't forget to don't forget to save. Very important. Okay. Oh, there's a problem. You see, when I click on this password, this one is highlighted. So let's check why. And this should be text, should be password. So let me go and check the. Okay, I have ID of pass already. So I'll just give this one pass. Okay, I'll give this one. I'll give it a triple S to make it unique. Okay, so it should be okay now. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so the next is the forget a password. Uh, as I said before, we would write the CSS for this. Okay, so let me paste the form, the reset form. Okay, so this is the last form that will be creating. So this one is the reset form. Okay. This form 4, the ID and this ID, they are identical, so I will give it. I want to make it different. Okay. Okay. All right. So this is it. This is the code for the reset password. All right. So okay. So when you click on this, it will take you to a login page. So we also write a JavaScript for this as well. So let's check it. So let's see how it looks like. Okay. So that is it. So I didn't even create a button for that. I didn't even put a button for that. Well, it doesn't matter. We don't need that. But I'll add a button. I need to put a button in there. Okay, so that is it. So if you click on this one gets highlighted. Oh, there's a button for this. What am I blind or something? This is a reset button, reset password button. Okay, so that is it. So when you click on this, it takes you to the login page. Takes you to the login page. So that is all about it. And finally, this is the I forgot to explain. This is the JavaScript code we decide to put it in here. So this will be the this will though we've not created we've not created a file, a quote .js file and this file yet. We've not created any of these files yet. So in our future videos, we'll be writing codes. So this will hold this code.js will be responsible for holding the quote. So there'll be in object array of objects. So objects within an array, we'll put it will be like that. Though we will use up to about six I think about six objects or so. Six objects, so that will not be longer. So I could fit them in one JavaScript file, but I just feel like putting it on a separate file. Just imagine you having dozens of lists. So that is, you just have to scroll down to start. It's kind of tedious putting everything in one page. All right, so that is it. So that is all about it. Before we leave, I don't know if I've explained. I said something that this normalized css, it's you know because right now this HTML, there's no we've not created the CSS for it yet. We've not created CSS for it. So if I remove this, the styling that will be applied to, to the page will be user agent. That is the styling from the browser. So if you are using a Mozilla, its own user agent styling. So that is it. So I've removed the normalized or css. You can see that there's a space in between. There's a space between. You could see the margins. There's a space between in here. But when you include it, yeah, you could see that everything shifted to the left hand. So let me show you how it is. Let me show you the normalized.css. I guess you've already seen it if you've downloaded it. So this is it. You can see.